we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out what the relationship is between what you feel like doing, what you want to do, and flow, and still getting things done and still being strategic. Because I think there are some people that are really oriented toward the fun and need to be a little bit more diligent. And then there are some people that are oriented toward being really responsible and they never learn to have fun. The world needs people who are more fully alive. And if you pursue what you want and you become more fully alive than the day you were before, then that is your amazing contribution to the world that most people are not contributing. Alright, what's up? Got my iPad notes here. Ready to go. Already filmed one video, so this video is definitely going to be better because I'm more amped up. First video is never... Hey, what's up? I'm Alexis. Welcome to my channel where we talk about personal development, empowerment, those sorts of things. So in this video, I want to talk about my relationship with like kind of hustle and flow, maybe is what you could call it, or like the strategic side of things where you like grind and get stuff done, and then the more flow side of things where you're doing like what feels good to you and what you want to do. What I've realized that I've tended to oscillate a little bit between working really hard, and I'll spend maybe like a month or 2 months just really working hard, and I'm very productive and I'm going after my goals and doing the quadrant 2 stuff and really planning efficiently and waking up early and, you know, just getting a lot done. And eventually I get to the spot where I'm way too tired and I'm worn out, and so I completely oscillate to the other end of the spectrum, and I spend a month kind of vegging, doing nothing. And then I start feeling kind of ashamed because I'm like, I want to have some passion in my life and be creative, and I've lost the creativeness. So then I'll jump back in and be like hyper productive because I initially have a burst of energy that's like, yeah, I took a month off, let's go, go, go. But then I just can't sustain it for very long. And I just kind of have this cycle that goes on over and over again where I have 2 months of working really hard and then I like crash for a month. And I was feeling like there's got to be a better way to do this. So I sat down and I was like, okay, we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out what the relationship is between what you feel like doing, what you want to do, and flow, and still getting things done and still being strategic and using strategy and things like that. And so it's kind of a difficult relationship, kind of a difficult balancing act. So I just wanted to kind of talk about which one is more important. Is it doing what you want to do and what feels good so you can have an enjoyable life? Or is it about strategy and being productive so that you have like a useful and like fulfilling life because you've actually gotten things done? Because it's kind of like a toss-up. So yeah, I just want to like talk about that. So here's what I've kind of come up with as what works for me. What I feel like I need to do first is I need to get my emotions in check, the vibe that I'm in, and my energy. I need to get that right first. So I've been in the middle of kind of doing a mock-up of a planner that I want to create. And one thing that I started adding to the planner is, am I feeling any negative limiting emotions on a scale of 1 to 10? How bad are they? And some that I feel like are particularly common for me are like shame and judgment. Like I feel really ashamed of an action that I did, or I just keep judging myself for something. And that is the biggest block for creativity for me and getting work done. If I'm feeling shame for whatever reason, judging myself, that has got to be addressed first and foremost. So I feel like the first thing that you have to do is you have to get out of the bad vibe and make sure that you're feeling kind of high energy and good with yourself. What I found helpful to do that is I'll journal for 3 pages. I'll just kind of journal about it. Hey, I'm feeling bad about myself, get it out. Alternatively, I might talk it out with someone and really just try to get it out. And at the end, I'll just make sure that I just like forgive myself for it, move on. Shame and judging myself just poison the rest of my day. And a lot of times when I'm feeling in a bad mood, I can go back to that. I can trace it back and figure out that it was shame that initially started me on kind of like this spiral. So once I've done that, once I've kind of gotten rid of, okay, we got this crap, got rid of the shoulds, got rid of like the negative emotions and limiting beliefs, then I go into like replacing it and generating positive emotions. So I journal and ask myself questions like, what do I feel like doing today if I didn't have to do any work? What work do I feel like doing today? How do I feel like doing the work? Because sometimes I feel like brainstorming, sometimes I feel like filming. And if I feel like doing the thing, but it's not on the assigned day, it doesn't matter. I might as well just do it on that day. And sometimes when I think about how I would like to work, sometimes I like to just like sprint, get it done, and then I can have like a big block of time to relax. Sometimes I like to work kind of slowly and leisurely. Sometimes I like to work more creatively. I mean, there's just lots of different ways that you could work. So I ask myself, what do I feel like doing? What do I feel like working on? And how do I feel like working? I also ask myself, what could I do today that would make me feel like in flow or passionate or like a little kid or expansive, or what's something that I could do today that would make me feel scared, excited, which those words I got from my purpose video, so I can link that if you're interested in that because that was very helpful. But I just ask myself like, okay, basically if I could design my day however I wanted, what's best case scenario? And then from there, maybe I can't, because of other restrictions or other schedules, I can't do the full thing, but I can at least incorporate little like bits of happiness into my day. And the purpose of all this is saying, what do I want to do for me? I want to get in flow, feel like myself. I want to be in a good vibe. I want to be passionate. And once I'm in that good place, then I go into working. But for the longest time, I would always just like, wake up, we're going right to work. This is what we're doing. Meanwhile, I had underlying shame, but I hadn't paused to really identify it. So I would just carry that shame throughout the day. And I'm just so not in touch with my emotions sometimes that could go on for a month. And then that's when these crashes would come. But I find that if I'm in touch with my emotions first, then the work is so much better. And it's like an overflow. That's the phase that it goes in. You get rid of the negative things, then you get in flow, and then you can get into overflow. And that overflow comes after you have already been in flow and passionate yourself. But if you haven't been passionate yourself and you're going on creating something, people can tell and no one wants it. So you think you're being selfless by going out there and you're like, I'm not going to do this for myself. I'm going to be so selfless and do this for other people. But in reality, people are served better when you are serving yourself in addition to that. Like, you are part of everyone. And when you're serving other people, when you want to serve everyone, you need to include yourself in that group of everyone. So you serve yourself first so that you can get into overflow and genuinely serve these people. And one thing real quick is that I feel like work and creativity should be somewhat synonyms. Slightly different, but when you think about work, you're in production mode. Like, work is you are producing something. It could be a product. That's what creativity is. You are creating a creation, which should be similar to like a product. And so if you don't feel creative in your job, I mean, that could be an issue in and of itself. Like, if you can't get in the mood more times than not to start working, then there could just be a problem there. But the thing is, you're just never going to be able to get in the mood for a back-breaking whip driving session. And that is literally what shame is. If you do not address your emotions at the beginning of the day, and then you go into the creation phase, you and your creations both are going to have this flavor of shame. And the judgment that you have on yourself is going to get passed on to other people. And so you need to get rid of that shame first and foremost. Get in a good, positive vibe where you are feeling good about yourself so you can pass that on to other people. So what I've tried to do is find basically like a happy medium. I'm going to do the work and be creative at the same time. I found work, which is creative to me. And what I'm going to do, or what I've been doing, is giving myself parameters. Like, I say, okay, by the end of this week, I need to have 2 videos scheduled and ready to go out on YouTube. I used to be like, 6 a.m. on this day we're doing this, 6 a.m. on this day we're doing this, 6 a.m. on this day we're doing this. And I like had every week, same schedule over and over. So what I'm doing now is I'm giving myself loose parameters. It's not like every day at this time you have to do this, but by the end of this week, this is what has to be done. You can do it whatever day you would like to do it. You could do it at the pace that you feel like doing it at, the time of day that you feel like doing it at, as long as it gets done by this day. And I basically just have a deadline. Another thing that I'm doing to make my work like a little bit more fun, to bring flow into the creation process, is to just make work more creative in general. I used to, just like when I was like scripting a video, I would just type it out on a Google Doc, but I'm like, why don't I draw on the iPad and make it kind of colorful and just write on it? It just makes it more creative. I'm doing the same thing, but it's more creative and I feel more in flow doing it, because I think there are some people that are really oriented toward the fun and need to be a little bit more diligent. And then there are some people that are oriented toward being really responsible and they never learn to have fun. And I feel like that's kind of the category that I'm trying to teach myself, how to have fun, how to make things more creative, because it's something just I haven't done. I just don't think about what I want to do or what I feel like doing. It's not something I ever think about. I think about what do I need to do and what should I do, and those are the things that I do, and I don't think about what I want to do at all. Because if you only do the hustle for your entire life, at the end of it you realize that you didn't have a fun life. You are feeling a lot of shame for all the times that you didn't get everything done that you wanted to get done. And you know, there's like a whip and you were running on a hamster wheel basically your entire life. The world needs people who are more fully alive. And if you pursue what you want and you become more fully alive than the day you were before, then that is your amazing contribution to the world that most people are not contributing. So yeah, I would say try to infuse your work with fun, with creativity, and really analyze your emotions as well. And when you do both, when you've got great emotions and you're taking care of yourself, and then you are also creating and giving that to the world, that's just a recipe for perfection. And it's a better way to make sure that when you reach your goal, you enjoy the time in between there, because so many times I have reached my goals and then felt grief, which I have a video about that also, about what it's like when you reach goals and you feel that grief and what to do about that. But so many times I have felt grief over just like the time that I lost. And it's because I was just running on the hamster wheel, and it's like, I don't think it was really worth all that. But if you do it this way, then you have an enjoyable life and you feel more fully alive. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, talk about personal development, basically, sorts of stuff like that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I will link that below as well. Thanks so much for watching.